Hey, what's up everyone? It's great to see you again. Hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. Back with another Bitcoin update. We're still working on the narrative of Bitcoin trying to complete its 5-wave move to the upside, trying to complete this intermediate wave 1. We could alternatively have this wave 1 concluding very soon, but either way, we're looking for a 3-wave pullback for a possible wave 2 of the intermediate degree to complete for a little bit of a larger correction before we can start working in as an extension to the upside for the larger primary wave 5 of the macro degree. Now, before we get into the analysis, I would kindly appreciate it if you would take the moment to subscribe to the channel and also like the video, as it does help me pump out these videos. Thank you very much. Keeping things simple here, ladies and gentlemen. Now we can take a quick recap of how we came up to this point and what we can expect in the next price action. In my Discord group, I did give a step-by-step interpretation of how the price action has unfolded. Now, remember, if you wish to see these timely updates, I do share them on the daily within my Discord. We have a little over 1,000 members, so if you are interested in joining, please do not hesitate to contact me through the link in the description below. I'm working on a website as well to help automate the process for new people within the next few months or so that you don't have to contact me directly. So again, we're expecting a wave 1 of the leading diagonal to complete because of these overlaps, and then we're expecting a shallow wave 2 pullback of this intermediate degree. That's what we got. We were looking for an expectation to the upside for a wave 3. That is what we got. Markets kept that buy pressure. We are also expecting that 1.618 Fibonacci zone to be hit. That's what we got. As we were continuing to the upside, I did try to give my interpretation as best as I can in terms of how we can continue to the upside, and then eventually we got that resolution of that possible wave 3 concluding. And now again, alternative, we could have this wave 3 still being worked upon depending on how you want to count it. But again, that wave C conclusion, or ABC conclusion rather, for any degree of a wave 4 has completed, and that is what we got yesterday. And now we're just looking for some kind of conclusion, either completed now, or we're working for the wave 4 and 5 to go to the upside, to go a little bit higher to the 68 to the 69K region before we start looking for that 1-2 pullback. Now, again, going back, alternative, like I've said, this wave 1 can be labeled here. We really could infinitely adjust the internal counts to our personal bias and liking. But again, if we zoom in further, I do have my interpretation on it, and this is my interpretation, which is a possible diagonal going into a wave 1 of the primary degree and a wave 2 pullback of this termination point. Really doesn't matter, but it does help us give a little bit of separation, because there are people who don't like to have nested extensions within this a wave 3 extension in itself. Having a 1-2, 1-2, it does create a little bit of subjectivity, but since we did move up parabolically and we were working in some kind of Elliott wave channeling, it really gave us a better look for this 1-2, 1-2 possibility. That's why I have this idea as a primary now. Why? Because the higher we go, the better it is for this wave 1-2 pullback to have some leeway in terms of support. We ideally want to have this push up as far as we can, and even possibly breaking above the channel for this wave 3 to give us even a higher possibility of the bullish continuation to the upside. So what that means is, if we have a primary wave 1 here as a 5-wave move up, this is our wave 2 conclusion as a very deep wave 2, and then ideally, same idea here, is a possible diagonal going into that intermediate wave 1 and having this wave 2 terminates just as the same as this primary wave 2 that we had over here. And then alternative, we can even say that this wave 1 too was working as a flat, depending on your liking. If you want to apply shorter time frame alternations with that in mind, it doesn't really matter. I think having alternations in mind is a little bit tricky on the shorter time frame, so it's better just keep things simple. And then again, this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, this pullback we got yesterday, and now we may be working for that intermediate wave 5 where we're working for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. And like I said, it might be looking like we are missing some kind of wave 4 and a wave 5. Alternatively, we can say wave 5 has ended, but it is difficult to find 5 waves up into this. But it seems a little bit better, if we're going to be keeping symmetry in mind, having this 5th wave end a little bit higher around the 68 to the 69K regions, and then that'll complete the larger wave 3 of the primary degree of this degree here, and that'll complete the extension and the intermediate degree. Then we're going to look for a larger pullback, more of a sideways correction possibility as a wave 4, since this wave 2 was quite deep. And now we're going to look for that primary wave 5 that should breach us in above the 70K region, possibly going up into the 72K regions before we get that pullback. Now that is going to be a little bit of a marathon for Bitcoin. Buyers really need to step in and keep the buy pressure above these levels, because we are still working within a channel, a break below that channel is going to give us a little bit of a down boost in terms of this overall impulse, because we can still count this bearish in terms of the counts, because we can alternatively say that this is the A, B, C going into that wave 3 rather, because the actionary waves work in hybrid. Now, if we take a look at the bearish scenario, we can, like I've said, see this as a possible ABC move to the upside. And again, wave C targets, just like wave 3 targets, can end around the 1.618 region, which is a common target for a wave C actually. And that makes it just a little bit more difficult in terms of this, because that is where a possibility of a bearish continuation can happen if we're seeing this as a larger ABC. Now, it doesn't have the best look for a corrective structure, but who knows? You never know. Bitcoin could still technically be just ranging as a series of threes, and that's why this diagonal idea now starts to come into play. Now, for diagonals, they are very tricky, but when you have a fourth subwave, according to the Elliott Wave principle and according to just my lectures and all of the consolidated evidence that I have, is that we do have a possibility of a fourth subwave being completed here. And that gives us enough evidence that this wave 4 could be complete, since we do have the possibility of an ABC to the upside, and we're looking for another zigzag structure to the downside for a possible wave 5 conclusion that'll complete this larger diagonal. Now, if that's the case, we're looking for another zigzag, like I said, and then another wave 2 pullback, as this would be completing a larger primary wave 1 degree, and that does fit much better in terms of the larger bearish structure, which is going to be another video right after this video. I'm working on a 20 to 30 minute bearish alternative scenario instead of the bullish scenario. I'm going to be talking about the bearish scenario that will give us a better interpretation of how we can see the 30, possibly 15K regions, and that is why I'm seeing this idea as a possible idea for this to happen if the bearish idea continues. That is why we need to be on our feet as a bull, because the alternatives do exist. That's why my idea for this scenario, in terms of keeping the bullish bias, we want to be, as much as we can, bringing the price up, especially above the 70K regions before we get that pullback. It makes it a little bit less risky, and it will be a lot more risky if we start to pull back now as a 3-wave pullback, because that gives us the risk and possibility of us working another hybrid of a 1-2 to the downside instead of an AC wave. All right, so hopefully that was helpful, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you guys are interested in also seeing daily updates, maybe you're a little bit hesitant to join the membership. I do all my daily updates on X as well, at XForceGlobal. If you would like to see me there, come say hi. I do my daily updates there as well. And again, if you want to join the Discord membership and get a better grasp of the Elliott Wave Theory, please don't hesitate to contact me. The link is in the description below. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next video with a much larger update on the bearish thesis. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.